What's going on, everyone? We are back again, day 2. We have Patrick Gleason coming up.
We do.
Greg's excited.
I am.
I'm excited too. And I'd like to say I'm as excited as Greg, but that's just not possible.
No.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to read off the sponsors, and then we're going to bring on Patrick as well as our friend JJ, who's going to assist Greg with the interview because I've got to go get us some dinner, man. All right.
The Shortbox Podcast is an award-winning podcast out of Jacksonville, Florida. If you like podcasts, check out the Shortbox.
JJ's Comics and Art. Head over to their Instagram and check out their bio to pick up the latest they have to offer. Also, his website launches tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah. Right in line with the Doug Mankey appearance.
Ooh.
Coincidence?
Maybe.
No.
Scott's Collectibles reps some of the top creators in the business today, and they were kind enough to lend a few of their clients to us. Head over to scottscollectibles.co.uk to see the latest offerings.
MajorPain.com just launched and is adding new comics every day. Like them on Facebook and join their insiders group, or feel free to just give them a call, and they'll help you find the comics or comic art you're looking for.
Alpha Omega Certification is the official CGC sponsor of Conline. Facilitator, I'm sorry.
Hey, they're a sponsor too.
Check out alphaomegacertification.com for some amazing signature submission opportunities.
OutrightGeekery.com is the exclusive news site of Comic Conline. Head over there to see the latest in comic-related news.
Comic Book Shopping Network is on Facebook. It's a hub for retailers to come together daily to host live shows. CBSN is the home for some of the best comic deals and people on Facebook.
www.oasiscomics.com, your official home for Jay Lee and David Barron exclusive covers. Now available are the Power Rangers exclusive color cover blanks.
And head over to coffincomicsshop.com to get the Artgerm Lady Death Comic Con line exclusive cover.
All right, guys. Now we're going to bring on, first we'll bring on JJ.
There's JJ.
Hey, look, it's JJ. And then, of course, the guy we're all here to see, Mr. Pat Gleason.
Patrick, how you doing?
I'm great. How you guys?
How you good?
Oh, now you're leaving. All right. Thanks for having me. Okay. Bye.
And we lost the audio.
Oh, no. You lost my audio?
There it goes. Okay, I think I'm just cutting in and out there for a second. Should be good.
Yeah, it's super choppy on my end, so I can hear you, but it's really choppy.
Okay.
If I just smile and nod, that's me going, uh-huh.
That's what I do most days, is just smile and nod.
Mostly because he's shocked by what I said. But
oh my gosh. Here, hang on a second. I might need to stream you guys so I can hear better. Let's see here. But I can listen. I'm going to pull it up on my laptop here.
Okay.
It's weird. It's like cut out the word. So, but I can hear you fine. I got to kind of translate it. So.
Oh, definitely. So what have you been up to during all the downtime? Have you been staying busy with art the whole time?
Yeah, it's been kind of different, isn't it? It's been a weird mix of super busy and incredibly not busy whatsoever. So I've had, right now I'm super busy, but for the last couple months, it's been, I had some open time just as things were getting, figured out at Marvel for my work on Spider-Man. The scheduling there I was just waiting to hear from them basically. So I took on a lot of sketches and things like that, and then we had all kinds of crazy stuff going on around here. I'm in Minnesota, so there was some events here in Minnesota that went on, and but I'm getting back into it now. I've got actually on my desk right now. I'm not going to show it yet, but Jim Lee's art auction for the comic book shops that just before everything went really crazy, he announced me on. So I'm working on that right now, and hopefully you guys have that up soon. If you guys if anyone follows me online, that'll be where you'll see it first, obviously. Or if Jim puts it up, that's where you'll see it. So I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, obviously. So just Google me, you'll find me.
Where can they find you on Instagram, Pat?
I've been turning in some cool stuff, I think. That's stuff I'm excited about. I don't know when they're going to show it. I've had a ton of people asking me, so before people start asking, I am on Amazing Spider-Man, so it's just that the schedule that Marvel's having to work out is I'm just kind of having to wait on that. So if you guys are patient with me, I'll let you know as soon as I know, or as soon as I can show you guys some stuff. I thought about like leaking some stuff here, but I don't want to do that. It's pretty big deal stuff. So
Oh, we don't want to get you in trouble with Marvel with leaking anything.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's been good. Just actually, I've been enjoying. I mean, this is really boring, like not comic book stuff, but like I've been hanging out with my family and just working on some other mystery projects that I'm not talking about yet. But aside from like how everything's upside down in the world, it's been pretty nice. So just doing what we do.
So I went to Wikipedia to, I feel like I know most of the stuff you've done, but there are still some things I was just double checking on. And first off, do you select your Wikipedia photo, or does somebody else put that up for you?
No, I do not.
I mean, it was nice seeing young Patrick Gleason.
I know you want to mock me right now, but I can't hear you. You're talking. Are you talking?
I felt like I looked the exact same way back then.
No, I'll tell you what. I'll put it out there now. I've said it before. I'll put a bounty on it. If anyone can change that picture for me, I'm good. I'm good for like a free sketch or something. Like just anything other than that picture. That picture was taken by a guy. It was a Big Apple Con in like 2000.
It's 2008, I believe. Yeah.
There was no air conditioning. And literally, the fella came up to me and he asked me to take my picture, and I said sure. And he just goes click. And I'm hot. I'm tired. I don't know what's going on. I don't know my name probably. And then lo and behold, I find it's my Wikipedia page picture. I actually tried to pay someone to change it for me because I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to get on there and do that stuff. And I had an assistant, and the owner of the photograph, let's just say he's tenacious. So he really, I've heard this from other comic book professionals too. They want to change the picture, but they're not allowed to. I don't know. So whatever. It's it's what it is. It's a small price to pay, but
we will get
just
that
like draw a stick figure.
Yeah. It will be changed after. Yeah, I promise. It won't be that anymore.
And I will put it back up.
JJ will.
Hang on a second. I got to see if I can get you some better audio here. I'm gonna hang on 1 second. Bear with me because I can't hear you at all. You and John talk about that. Let's try this.
All right.
John got a new haircut.
I did. For all of those that were concerned about my hairstyle, I got a few inches off the top and the sides, so you can really see that silver in there. I just wanted to look good in case I was called upon by Greg. That was.
I'm cutting mine on Monday. It's like a playoff beard, except it's on the head instead. So.
And so for those that are wondering why Corey isn't here right now, Corey took a little break to go get these guys some
Hey guys,
food.
it's really sorry.
Sorry.
I can't hear John at all.
Can't hear John at
I
all.
can hear you, but it sounds like it's.
I wonder if I
can't
should
hear
maybe
you at all.
bounce
But
out.
It sounds like
and
you're
let
talking
you-
through a machine gun fire or something.
Maybe I'll bounce out and let you. Would that be easier and let you take it, Greg?
Yeah, we can give that a shot.
Let
See
me
if
try.
maybe that's.
Try one more thing. Hang on a second. This might not be pretty. I'm going to see if I can join you on my iPad here.
And while we're sitting here talking, just so people are aware, you can obviously go to Patrick Gleason, his web store. Do we have that up?
We do. Scrolling at the bottom, patrickgleason.bigcartel.com.
Yep. And he's got some pat marks, which if you've seen them before, are amazing. And they're a little different than anyone else does a remark. So we've coined the term pat mark.
I'm going to try and get in on my iPad, so I think it's requesting it now.
All right.
Well, we're going to sling some stuff for you, Pat, while you're doing that. And so you can get those pat marks. They're $100. They are amazing. They're really, really nice. He's got some options there. He's also got sketch covers. You can get a single figure for $350, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then a full figure on a sketch cover with backgrounds, all the bells and whistles is $850. All of the items are CGC eligible through Alpha and Omega certification.
I can hear you
See
now,
that?
John.
So it looks like
All
we're
right, I'm going to switch this phone off here.
all right.
Okay. I can hear him crystal clear. Are you good, Greg?
Yeah, I can hear him. Corey's watching live. He said everything sounded pretty good in the feed.
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
I don't know if it was my phone or what. Everything sounds great this way. So sorry about that, guys. But thanks.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
Thanks for bearing
We wanted to start off with you, Pat, right away and just let you know that this is, I believe, is this our third one or fourth one, Greg?
Yeah, the third one. I was
Third
here.
one.
You guys.
So
been
right
really nice.
now, you would be Hall of Fame eligible, I believe, if we were creating the Conline Hall of Fame. So you've been on every single one of these, and we just want to say thank you because I know the first time that we came on was like a real quick one, asking if you wanted to jump on. You were able to come on the second time. You were able to come on this third time. You've been very supportive of everything that we've done and that we're trying to build here. And I know that you're always kind of a forward thinker, knowing you for as long as I have. And I think it's just really cool that you want to be involved in these shows and that you want to be able to connect with fans and do things like that. So just wanted to give you the kudos right away on that so that we didn't forget that or miss that.
Well, I appreciate it. And you guys, you guys just asked me to be on, and I'm happy to do it. And it's been really cool to see, over the months how you guys have got sponsors. And really, you got a cool hat now, Greg, and the back. It's great. So. Yeah, I mean,
can we get Pat one of those hats?
We can definitely get Pat a hat.
I definitely.
All right. We'll get his size and we'll get
my
him
quarantine locks. This is the longest I've ever had it. But yeah, no, it's been really great, and you guys have just been cool. And like you said, having an on. It's obviously I'd love to see fans in person and see you guys obviously, but you gotta adapt, and this has been people complain about how they can't be around each other, but I'm just really glad that we have this technology now. I mean, this has been 5-10 years ago, it would be a totally different story. So this is cool, and I'm excited to see where it goes and what you guys do, and if you want to have me back,
definitely,
I'm here.
Greg, should we just already ask Pat to come to the next one?
Pat, will you come back for the fourth one?
I'm really busy. Sorry, guys.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I'm super busy, guys. I gotta.
Well, we tried. We tried. I'm pretty sure we can talk him into it somehow. I think we'll send him Transformers toys, and then
we'll see how many times it takes for me to actually get my audio and camera stuff set up right. By the way, I put this out yesterday that I was going to be on here, and I had people, and I said, hey, I'm going to be on the show. I'm a guest. If you have any questions you guys want to, ask. And I got some cool ones, I could read them off later if you want to hear them, but then I saw one by someone with the initial, well, I don't know if I should name him, but this person that's names rhymes with Eric said, what's the over under on Pat being on time? To which I ignored because, I'm used to Eric asking things like that. But then I saw that, John, you chimed in, like you jumped on.
John.
And posted a picture.
No, I didn't post that picture. Eric posted that.
Oh, he posted it? Okay.
Yeah, I said that it was going to be a minute. It was over and under was a minute because you've been so on point.
I was here on time.
I know you were.
Was it on time? I think I was technically.
You were on time. We were working through some technical difficulties, but just so everybody knows, Eric Marshall is a friend of both Pat's and mine, and from Minnesota. He's one of the great guys out there. And a big supporter of Pat's, and so he likes to tease Pat whenever he has the chance, and he's just a wonderful human being all the way around. So that was fun to see him do that.
I thought that was fun. I had to laugh.
Yes, that was good.
Keep my feet on the ground. I was like, oh man, I can't be late now.
No, I know. I was like, oh no, what if he's betting money? What if there's odds in Vegas right now on whether Pat Gleason shows up? I mean, those type of things. We don't know. We don't know what's going on in the world anymore.
Look, I have a reputation. He says this because he was volunteer at a local convention, and I was known to maybe roll in a little after the show had started, but it was because I was out buying donuts for everyone, things like that. So I don't think I deserve the reputation.
I mean, it's not like you've ever contacted me 3, 4, or 5 different times and asked me to put a sign on your table at a show.
No,
I'm just saying that's never happened.
Anyway, we should move on to a different.
Okay, let's do that. So, so before we go into anything, part of what we do here on Comic Conline, folks, is we want to make sure that we are bringing the creators that you want, that we're offering things that you could normally get at a convention, but obviously you can't right now because of the way things are going. So we want to make sure if you want to visit Pat's store, we've got that scrolling on the top, or it might already be stationary. And we'll have that on there. But he's got something unique called a Pat Mark. Pat, do you happen to have a Pat Mark handy?
I do. Yeah. So this was, instead of a remark, I was like, well, let's jazz it up a little. And I'm sure
Who named it Pat Mark, by the way? Who came up with that great idea?
I don't remember, but I'm definitely looking for a new name because I'm not sure if that's going to hold.
I think I came up with the Pat Mark, so we're sticking with it.
Was it? Well, if anyone has any,
sounds like something you'd come up with.
Yeah, it was, and Pat loved it. So
okay, well,
anyways.
Here, let me just show you what he's talking about. So typical remarks that I have done in the past are, just Sharpie on a cover, and I'm always searching for a place to put the art where it's not too busy. So I've been playing around. I'm actually kind of having fun, just trial and error with different pens and things like that, to kind of get an effect where I can basically put like some white down.
Oh yeah,
wow.
So
That's awesome.
Almost kind of looks like a sticker on there, but it's hand drawn. So this is one I did.
Wow.
Just a Superman on one of the Superman run issues we did. In the quarantine, I've been going through and pulling out all my boxes of comps and things. My kids have gotten a job, so they've been helping me organize all my back. And so I thought, it'd be kind of cool is if since I'm not doing signings and things of people's books, that I probably have an issue you want. And so I thought, why don't I put these up on my store? And it's not super scientific, but basically if I drew it, I probably have it. So you can request it. It's first come, first serve. If I don't have the exact one, you can specify, cancel the order, or, I'll just pick the next closest thing, and I'll probably do an upgrade. I don't have it with me, but I had one order and I didn't have the specific issue, and I just swapped out a hardcover collection and I did the whole inside for them. So you'll get more than you're paying for, hopefully. So I'll give you the best, basically. So this is one I did. This is not claimed at the moment. This is a Superman one. I did another one here on Superman 45. My daughter requested this one, so this is John and Kathy, also known as Beacon, one of the characters I created with Pete on our Superman run. And again, it's just right on the cover there. $100. I do one character. I don't know. I did two on this one just because I felt like it. So,
so are those available right now, Pat? If someone wanted
these
those,
are available right now on Big Cartel. If you put in the comments, I want the one you showed on Comic-Con specifically. If you're the first person to ask for it, you get it. Otherwise, you can request me to do a new one, do the same one on a different cover. Here's one. I had to do a crypto because I knew no one would ask me for crypto, so I just wanted to do crypto. So this is the crypto Pat Mark on the Superman #1 cover. This one is also available in my store. And it's signed. Oh, wait, this one isn't signed yet. I promise I'll sign it. The others are signed. So this is just something kind of fun, since I can't actually get a hold of your comics in my own hand. And maybe down the road, if people like these, I'll dig into my Batman and Robins or my Green Lantern Corps, and we'll see what we can do with those. If there's one of those specific you want, you can ask for them, but I haven't gone through them yet, so you're really taking your chances. But the Superman ones are available, and again, the first come, first serve. Once they're gone, they're gone. So,
all right, so they can head over to the Big Cartel store.
Mm-hmm.
They can pick those up there. Yeah, I mean they're amazing, and I've
also,
actually. I was just gonna say I've seen them in person. They're brilliant. There was a Black Cat one that was done at one point. That was brilliant, and I'm just going to tell people I collect and buy stuff for a living. $100 for a remark that looks like that is an absolute steal, and I truly mean that. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous, and there's a lot of work that's obviously put into those. So if you want those, please head over to the Big Cartel store. Again, we can grade those for you. CGC grade those through Alpha and Omega certification. So just let us know. And Pat and I work together as friends, so it's not a problem to make sure that those can get over for grading.
Yeah, and thanks again, John, too. John,
Now, Pat, you also have sketches on the site available?
I'm sorry, what? Sketches?
You
Yeah,
have sketches?
I have sketch covers available. I was going to draw some here, but now since the camera's a little wonky, I don't force it. I do have some sketch covers here. Blanks, some Spider-Man. Thank you to JJ's for those. Those are also on my store. I have a limited number of slots. I've got a lot of work, so I'm going to have to keep it pretty minimal. So you can do. I'm doing head sketch on those for $250. There's another place. There are ones that are open for bust with backgrounds for $350 and full figure with backgrounds for $850, I believe, on there. So those are kind of the wide range people have been asking before. So I have a little bit of time before things get really crazy deadline wise, and I want to make them available. I do sometimes put stuff up pre-done, but very rarely do I take commissions. So this is probably the last time I'm going to take commissions for a while. So if you want to get one, you can do that. And if sketch covers aren't your jam, if that's not what you collect and you just want something similar sized on a piece of Bristol, I can do that too. Just put any requests in the comments. Pretty flexible, within reason.
Sweet. All right, so that answers Betty's question there. So back to the Wikipedia, but not the photo this time. So I saw Martian Manhunter 24 there, and it listed you as an inker on Doug Mankey's art. JJ told me you actually kind of filled in a little bit more on that one than inking.
Wow, you're going to deep cuts, man. All right, deep cuts. Yeah, it was. I don't know if for people who don't know, my first gig professional was with Brian Vaughn on X-Men Unlimited number 22, and then that was my last gig for a while. And then Doug Mankey was a friend of mine. I worked at a comic book store before that, so I met him there, and he hired me as his assistant. And when it was a lot different than a regular assistant gig, a lot of times you just do backgrounds and all the junk work that the artist doesn't want to do. But Doug was, I don't know if he was training me. I don't know. He was giving me the gift that kept on giving. He was showing me how to draw comics. So he would literally have me do layouts, do the drawings, do inking, everything, full figure, everything. And quite mercilessly, he would erase like my whole day's work and say it was not up to snuff. And then he would just kind of shrug and say, try again. And so it was very Mr. Miyagi. It was very good. And I was hurt at first, but then I realized like, oh, I'm actually showing me what I'm doing wrong and how to fix it and how to do it better. So I always joke that I have Doug in my head telling me like, fix that and do this and don't do that. It's in a good way sometimes, but yeah. So anyway, so the Martian Manhunter, I think at the time he'd taken on 2 books at the same time. I'd helped him out one year on quite a few things. We did Action Comics 775 with Joe Kelly, which was as a kind of a cool story with that. I think I've told a million times, but Martian Manhunter was one of those issues that I helped out on. And if I remember correctly, I think I laid it out, penciled it, and partially inked it. Doug would tighten up my pencils, and then he would, I can't remember exactly what the split was on that. But I know I did a lot of work on it. It was a fun job. I think I would draw myself in there. So if you see it like a skinny, dopey kid with sideburns, that was me. I would draw myself in there. So I'm in the Lobo Hitman. I'm in Superman. I think I'm getting throttled in that Martian Manhunter issue.
I'm going to need a list of all those now. So.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many Easter eggs. Someday you'll never know. You'll never find them all. But I think DC's when they would do crediting for legal reasons, they couldn't say co-penciler or Doug's assistant or whatever. So I believe Peter Tomasi was the editor at the time on that. And so a lot of times I would get a storyteller credit or a special thanks to Pat Gleason, which just meant, we're not paying him anything, but here's his name's in the book, which was fine with me. So, but that was pretty exciting because I actually we got an inking rate.
Yeah.
So that, I think that might've been, I probably was on the books as an inker at DC first. I don't remember. I think, but Doug paid me well. He was really generous at his time. I worked at his house so much, his kids thought I was their brother or something. So they still, we're still very close, and they're a great family. And I don't know, it was really, I didn't realize until years later, like what a gift that was, that he was able to open up his work and his home to me. And it's just a testament. Doug Mackey's just a total stand-up guy. He's a really good friend, really good artist. Like he's the real deal. So hopefully you guys, hopefully he doesn't tell me. I'm sure he could tell some embarrassing stories about me if you ask him, but please don't. About how I showed up.
That'll be up to JJ.
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I mean, these two will tell each other when I'm around both of them. They definitely will crack on each other, or try to tell stories about whatever they can. But it's nothing but love with those guys. There's no hesitation on that. And I know Doug feels the same way about Pat. Pat's one of his best friends in the world. And I think it's wonderful. I talk about it all the time, and not to turn it into a Doug thing, but I know Pat has often said that, Doug having him come on and teaching him those ways is why Pat is where he is now. He brought out that talent that Pat always has, and Pat's just continued to push forward and become even better. And I'll just say this right now. I mean, Pat, I think personally, I can't wait until you're writing more and more beyond the penciling, because I know you're a talented writer. I know that you were involved in part of the Superman run that was going on there when you and Mankey and Tomasi were on there. And so I look forward to the next writing project that you have, hopefully soon. And there's just a certain voice when you read writers, and you can tell who's writing certain things and who's got those certain ideas. So just well-rounded all the way around, and I think it's amazing. And obviously Doug saw something in you a long time ago when you had those long sideburns.
They're still there under there. They're underneath there.
They're under there still. But no. And humorously enough, I was going to say those Martian Manhunter, I think I told you the other day, I found some Martian Manhunter pages from back in the day when we were digging through Doug's stuff. So
cool. I do have some of the Lobo pages that we did, and they were people don't know, they were greatly censored before they went to print. So I have the version. So but back to what you're saying about Doug too. Like, everything you're saying about Doug is it. And I wouldn't be writing if it wasn't for Doug. Actually, he kind of pushed me to do it because when I met Doug, I was an artist anyway. I was a cartoonist. I did little zine comics, and I had talent. I can draw and I could write my dopey comics, and we were just doing them for fun. But one of the biggest things I learned too, working in Doug's studio, was not just the drawing side of it, but it was the thought process and how to talk to an editor, and what the unglamorous side of comics is and what it takes to be a professional. And I'm still trying to figure it out. But those are the things that I think a lot of people kind of miss, because they get caught up in the drawings, the glitz and glamour of it. But you do have to be a businessman to some degree. And when going from writing or from drawing to writing was a total different. It's like taking a completely different job. I approached it as an artist at first, and I learned from Pete Tomasi too. Kind of in the same way from Doug, the professional side of writing and how things need to be communicated to the editor and all that kind of thing. And I've had, it just goes to show you, like, you always have people helping you. You're always learning from people. That's one of the things I love about this business is getting to work with super talented people, super interesting times of comics. I got to work through Green Lantern Corps, Blackest Night, alongside Jeff Johns and Dave Gibbons and like all these people. And it's just really cool. I'm just me doing my thing. And again, for Doug and the writing thing, it was really cool, going from Doug's assistant to actually writing scripts that he was drawing. And even one of those, like this issue here, the dinosaur Pelham, this is his cover. So like, Pete and I were writing scripts for Doug, and it was really fun because Doug would come over here and he'd be drawing a page, and he'd be like, "What happens on the next panel?" I'd be like, "Had this, put this in there." Nope. It's like, "You need to get it approved." I'm like, "It'll be fine. I'll work it out later." So I'm dialoguing it. It was just kind of like jamming. And that was fun. I love doing it. To be honest, it was a hard job to do both, to draw and write, because there's no downtime. And so after Superman, I was writing and drawing in a book that came out twice a month. And, Pete and I split the writing pretty 50-50. We each had to turn in a script every month, and I had to draw an issue every month. And no lie, that took a lot out of me, man. That was hard. And so, the next thing that I do, I really want to be special. It's been cool. Marvel's asked me to do some stuff. For now, I'm happy just drawing Amazing Spider-Man with Nick Spencer. It's great. I did write a Captain America one page and Marvel one. I just love doing it. I had to do it for my kids. For me, I would love to do Cap or Fantastic Four or something like that at some point. But I have other stuff I want to do first that may have something to do with the mystery project that I mentioned earlier. But we'll see. We will see.
Now, like you have like the superpowers figure behind you, and so one of the things I've been kind of taking notice of this year is like David Nakayama is doing box art for the Marvel Legends, and and I don't think people really ever look at the box art and go, "Holy crap!" Like one of my favorite artists did this. Have you done any stuff outside of comic covers or comics specifically?
Not that I've been paid for. My art's been used on things, and I've had to, I actually might have this. And this was not staged, I promise you. But I had a fan send me this. He's like, "Hey, I got a Hot Wheels car with Robin on it." I'm like, "Hey, I drew that. That's cool." And one of the funny things is, now look, no shade. I understand. When I draw a comic book, it's in my contract. They can do whatever they want with the art, right? So they can use packaging, whatever. It's always nice when they throw you a bone and they send you one of yours. And I had some editors send me these, so I've got a few. The one thing that always I didn't really let's just say it wasn't cool. It wasn't cool, guys. Is that if your name is on there, they'll erase your name. So Hot Topic did a Killer Croc wallet, which I thought was cool. It's from one of the 3D covers that I did, Killer Croc. But my name was scrubbed out. I was like, oh man. But now you can't see it on here. But people ask me why I hide the Pat skull. If you look on his belt there, even though my name isn't on there, I don't know if you can see it through the packaging. The Pat skull that I hide in all the covers. Let's just say it's hard for the production designers to find it too. And sometimes it makes it onto the packaging. So I count that as a win. But I just saw this. I wasn't going to talk about this either. This is just my shelf.
Oh, I was hoping to see this.
Yeah.
In this thing, I haven't opened it up yet. But isn't that cool?
That's nice.
McFarlane.
And that's the Hellbat armor that you created, correct?
I did. It was an idea that I had that I actually pitched to Pete. I had a sketch in my sketchbook of Superman forging something in the sun. Wouldn't it be cool if Batman had this armor? And I don't remember if Pete and I talked about it. And we came up with it together, for Batman and Robin. And they used the cover art here in the back. So, and they, it was cool. Yeah. So, we came up with this idea together, and he wrote it into Batman and Robin. I don't remember which issue, 30 something. But basically, it's Bruce's armor to go fight Darkseid.
Yeah, to go get Damian back.
Yeah, and so all the Justice League had a hand in it. Superman forged the metal in the sun, and I can't remember all the what everyone did. But the cool thing that I always liked about it was, aside from just I loved it. I was like, I need to put something with spikes, big giant shoulder spikes. And I think they actually modeled this a little bit off of Doug's interpretation too. So. But the cool thing that I liked about it, or the thing that I always thought was key about it was, Batman can't just wear it anytime. It basically kills him to wear it. So like it's kind of a ticking clock. It's killing him the longer he has it on. So it's like a last ditch Batman effort. And I always love those stories, you know, where Batman is just pushing himself physically to the limit, you know, near death. So this is what he uses. And then, yeah, McFarlane Toys made a Hellbat version of it. Toy, I can talk. And it just looks really cool. So I ordered one. I ordered two, actually. So I'm going to open one up. I might sell one or do a giveaway or something with a mark on it when I get a YouTube channel up and running or something. I don't know. So I do like toys a lot, just for myself. I've got some other Super Sons toys and things like that have been made, and that just is great. It's such a cool thing. Like, that's the comic book side that I, as a fan, I love to see. You know, this stuff come to life, and I've been really fortunate to have a lot of interest from like DC. You know, they made an Aquaman statue maybe from one of my covers. They've done Green Lantern stuff. I have a Batman black and white statue, which is so cool to me. Yeah, so I love toys and things like that. I would love to do toy packaging. You know, I'm not a huge art collector, but I do collect some stuff. And one of the things I'm always looking for is production art and packaging art. You know, Sam Heady, if you guys know who Sam Heady is, he goes by Kickley, I know, right? So he's been doing some paintings of G.I. Joe, like the card art, you know, and he had done a run of those, and now he's doing some Transformer stuff. I just think it's super cool. So if you go check out Kickley, Kickly, I think. I'd love to do some. I've always told people, like, you know, I'd love to do some toy art or game work, things like that. You know, really anything. I just like messing around in different boxes. You know, comics is my bread and butter. You know, I love it. I won't do anything else. But you know, I'm also just an artist, a fan. So I'd love to do stuff, other things too.
Just real quick for everybody that's joining, and we got some questions here. So if you go to Pat's site, it's patrickgleason.bigcartel.com. You can get commissions there. Also the Pat marks, which are amazing. All that's available there.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for showing that off too. Were there any questions? Were people? I can't see if there are any on here. So.
We had Eric said that Hellbat was issue 36 there of Batman and Robin.
Right.
That you said you had some questions that some of your fans had asked you.
Yeah, it's
pretty interesting.
Over on Twitter or Instagram. Let's see here. Hang on. Let's see. Dustin says, "How about some Craven talk, like Craven the Hunter?" Sure. Craven is cool. I did a remark, I think, on a book he had ordered. That was one of my first Spider-Man series that I read, that I really remember reading, and I actually got a sketch this year from Mike. But yeah, that was one of those Spider-Man stories that, you know, like so many, it totally resonated in like a weird way. Like, this is not what comics should be. It was kind of my Dark Knight Returns, because I wasn't really on board with that when that first came out. So it was just the first one that kind of was like a creepy side of Spider-Man. I like the original idea of Spider-Man. Really odd, almost sci-fi, not quite horror, but there's something odd about it. I like Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man well enough, but I always like Spidey with a little more mystery and edginess to him sometimes. Not edgy, that's not a right word. Just like a little bit off. Like, he's not super mainstream, even though he's completely mainstream. He's kind of the oddball of all the super. So on the Super Spider-Man stuff I'm working on now, it might be even a little darker than what people are expecting, which honestly is kind of fun. I'm kind of going back to my Green Lantern style. You know, it's one of those things, like people say, like I change my style up on different books sometimes, which is true. I do. You know, Superman was a lighter tone. I always feel like the art really is, the art that I do is in the design and the storytelling, less so than the rendering. I always feel like that is more important. So some stuff, you know, I'll really render, I will leave it really open, just depending what the feel of the book is. So I don't know if that's Craven talk exactly, Dustin. Let's see. The other one is Godson says, we want to know, what is your next arc, comic, and variant to pre-order? Oh man, I wish I could tell you. I will say Ben Percy's doing a good job over there on Wolverine, so you might want to keep an eye on that. And some Spidey stuff, obviously. There's going to be some stuff coming out. I expect Marvel will be talking about it, so I better not. But obviously, I'm working on a Spider-Man arc right now, so keep your ears open for that. Hippie's also coming up, so I'll be hopefully doing a cover on that one there. Any chance of teaming up with Pete again? Yeah, I don't know. You never know. Never say never, right? I had a chance to work with Pete after Superman, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I go back to just drawing. I wanted to write and draw, and so that was part of my my thought. Because I think, I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? I don't know. Pete's got some cool stuff going on. Detective, and with Doug and Brad. So we'll see. Never say no. And then Matthew Pop says, "What would you?" Okay. What would you have done if your Superman run hadn't been ended prematurely? Well, I don't know. I guess we'll never know, right? No. The funny thing was I plotted out up through issue 100. And I think the weekend that we found out that we were going to be ending. Sorry, JJ. I know. Believe me, it was sad. It was sad because we were really on a roll on that thing, and that's how it goes, though. You're always.
Can I just interrupt real quick? If you happen to have loved the Mankey, Gleason, Tomasi Superman run, can you just put a heart on there? Just send a heart, a thumbs up, whatever it may be if you're watching right now, because I honestly think that Superman run that you guys did was one of the all-time classic best reinventions of Superman that there was. I know that it's very popular with a lot of people. And I know that Superman numbers were really high for that series. You guys did such a great job of grounding Superman, which is something you and I've talked about in the past, where you need to ground him and you need to make him someone that we can all be a little bit more closer to, and giving him a family makes it a real sensibility because we all have families. So that story was just so good, and it just continued to be so good. So I think it'll go down as a classic. I think by many it's already considered a modern classic. And to hear that you had up through 100 issues already plotted out, I'll stop talking.
One of the secrets of a writer is you never abandon an idea. So I still have those ideas. They just might come out somewhere else. So that's the idea. So, but
there you
go. I've always been, again, I'm so fortunate to come on. Pete was writing Superman and Wonder Woman with Doug drawing. So he was doing, his Superman. And when I got the call from DC asking if I wanted to come on and in behalf of the team of writing and drawing on Superman Rebirth, and I heard what was going to be going on, I was like, yeah, absolutely. Which was funny because Superman was always a book I said I would never do, but I just thought no one could improve on it. Why would I want to come on to this? There's nothing new to say. He's one of my favorite characters. He's the best comic book character. But I'm friends with Dan Jurgens and Lee Weeks, and they were doing that little book called Lois and Clark, and they were the ones that gave him the family. And so when we found out that was a possibility of bringing that Superman in, what I told Pete and DC was, look, I only know how to write one kind of Superman, and that's the only Superman I want to do. And we just have to go back to what made him great. Superman is your friend. That's it. Superman is your friend. He's there to help. He smiles. He's a bit of a he's out of step with the modern day, and that's okay. He's not the cool character, but he's the one that's always right in the end. And the other heroes look up to him. And as Pete and I were talking about it, Doug actually was in on this conversation too. We all came together and talked about what we wanted to do, and it became very clear that family was going to be, the angle that we could really play on. And Pete and I, we all have young kids, so one of the first things that I wrote, Pete and I, one of our writing sessions was a shot of John saying, my dad is Superman. And I thought that kind of encapsulated what the whole run was going to be. Is a son looking at his dad, thinking my dad is Superman, and he actually was Superman. So we went from there, and I'm really glad we got to do it. In a way, I'm sad we didn't get to go all the way, but I'm glad too that maybe we didn't mess it up. So we kind of went out. Fans are really happy with it. Can't thank fans enough. You guys are just awesome. And it's okay that that we ended. It's like everyone has to end so the new guy can come in. We were the new guy, too. So it's just the circle of life. I wish we could have done more. Of course, I wish things were different. But the kind of stuff that I gravitate towards are comics that are going to show the best in people, and hopefully entertain and be a good escape, and maybe make you laugh or cry. I think emotion has got to be 100% at the center of everything you do. Character and emotion, whatever you do. So whether I'm drawing it and someone else is writing it, I'm trying to put it in the art, or whether I'm writing it and drawing it. That's what I'm all about. And I love working with people that are in the same mindset. I think comics really needs to take a look at itself and not just ask what do fans want, but what do we need. And
How do you freeze there? All right.
Well, he may have froze for a second. We just want to make sure we let everybody know that he's back
there we
on.
go. It did check.
Well, you froze for a split second, but I'm going to take this opportunity to let people know that you can still go to Patrick Gleason, the big cartel that we have posted on there. We have the Pat marks. Pat, this is your cue to show maybe one or two of those Pat marks off.
Look, I drew on comic books. There we go.
Yeah. So if you can see those are available. Those are Pat's issues that he has from his own run. And those are available at his store. Those are $100 each. There we have crypto. And that's actually drawn with white pen and all kinds of stuff. And
this will be, and if these aren't, what you're looking for, you can get yours customized too. So I will do, within reason, whoever you want Spider-Man on a Superman comic, you want to get crazy, so we can do that.
And there's only so many of those available. Yeah. I know that for a fact. And then as far as your sketch covers, you've run down that list too, that you're going to be taking some covers, but not a lot. I know your schedule is getting really hectic here soon. What kind of blanks do you have right now off the top of your head that people can maybe?
I've got a Marvel 1000. I've got Shazam. I've got Batman Ninja Turtle. I don't know where this came from, but I'd be very excited to draw a Ninja Turtle on that. That was cool.
I have a question about that in a minute, so hang on.
X-Men. Got a Spidey, #1. I got a Young Justice. I got oh man, look at this. I got a Rocket Raccoon. This might be the Jake Parker Scotty Young collaboration. I might keep this for myself.
Yeah.
Actually. I think
I sent that to you on purpose.
Is that why you sent that to me? I might have to hang on to this.
I had seen you do Rocket Raccoon before.
I bought a page from Jake Parker. So I own a page of Rocket Raccoon, which is written by Scotty Young and drawn by Jake, they're both amazing artists, really cool guys. Definitely check their stuff out. And as far as the Pat marks too, again, those are just from my personal collection. So once they're gone, they're gone. I'm not taking any. No one's mailing me anything, or I'm not going out to buy more unless JJ wants to send me something. But
I will. And if there's people that have questions, we certainly will. And we've been very happy with the turnaround success for Pat too. I know a lot of artists get busy. One of Pat's goals was to make sure before every next convention that he came on for Conline that he had everything in order and ready to get out to people. So we're very appreciative of that too, and I know the fans are also. Now I got a question for you, Pat, and I'm going to put you on the spot here. I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but we may potentially sometime down the road want to do another variant cover, and we just did one with, luckily enough, with Art Germ with the Lady Death cover. So could you ever do a Turtles variant if you wanted to? Because I know you're a Turtles fan. And I know that I am just really setting myself up here for failure because Corey's not around. But Greg can tell me that
Corey's here.
Oh no, Corey's here. Corey's just letting you guys do your thing. You guys are doing well. I didn't see any point in coming in.
No, but if there were a chance, let's say that we wanted to do a limited run Pat Gleason variant, we wanted to do a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, simply because I know you like turtles. And I don't want it's not the meme thing, you know, I like turtles, but well, I know you like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, would that be something that you potentially have the ability to do, or is it not that wide open?
I can ask. I mean, we'd have to see. I wouldn't be comfortable saying yes for sure, although I would like
but
to.
It intrigues you at the very least.
It's very intriguing. And I know Ed McGuinness just didn't.
Fans are lucky to be hearing preliminary discussions to get Patrick Gleason to do a cover.
I think that this is what people do want to see, don't you?
I mean,
we can talk Ninja Turtles if you like.
Whether it happens or not, completely irrelevant. We're discussing it.
Yes, and that's it.
Yeah,
By the way,
Pat,
there's a new series coming out called The Last Ronin, and only one turtle is left. If you had to put your money on who the last turtle remaining would be, which one would it be?
Is that what it's about? It's going to be the last one. We don't know who it is.
3 of the turtles died, and the other one is kind of carrying all the broken, dismantled weapons of the others, and he kind of hears their voices in his head, like he still carries them as if they're living.
Well, you know, okay, I haven't thought of this. So I'm off the top of my head, you know, everyone's like Raph or Leonardo, I guess. But, you know, the original idea for Michelangelo was he was not just the comedy relief Joker guy. You know, he was actually the one that trained the hardest. So I would go on a limb and say if I was doing it, I'd go Michelangelo. So
I'll agree 100% on that.
And for the story, I picked the same one because right now, you know, currently he is perceived as the Joker, the fun-loving turtle. And in the context that you got to see the couple of pages that we did get to see and how broken that character was, I think it makes for a more compelling story to have it be Michelangelo.
Yep. And that would be the best way to do it, I think. Unless there's a twist I'm missing somewhere. But, yeah, that's what I would want to see. That would be cool. I'm not really familiar with the new girl turtle very much.
Jenica? Yeah, not too much yet.
She's not even a real turtle. She's like, never mind.
Well, she was a human that got Donatello's blood and mutated.
Okay. I always like Slash, too. I thought Slash
God knows what I was about to say.
So about a week and a half ago, we kind of got a tease on social media from you. You were sitting down and just writing something, or are you working on a create-your-own project maybe?
I'm always working on something. Okay. Yeah, and I've been working on this something since I left DC. So I'm not really announcing anything yet. Like I said, you know, I draw every day. I try and write every day too. And sometimes it's just dumb stuff for my family or for myself, just to amuse myself. But no, I'm working on something. I'm hopefully going to be able to announce something relatively soon this year for sure. So it's going to be it'll be cool. So again, like if you guys are out there following me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, I appreciate you guys following me and let me know you're out there because it really spurs me on to get busy and when you guys let me know what you like, that's awesome too because I'm making stuff for you guys, and we just want to do something memorable.
Well, when you decide you want to do your own creator-owned project, which I know that I'm in that lane of go Pat go on that stuff all the time. We want to be involved in it in any way that we possibly can.
Has a venue for you, sir.
What's that?
I said Conline has a venue for you, sir.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just the fact that anybody that's ever read anything that we were talking about the Superman stuff earlier. Mm-hmm. Pat has a large fan base. People love Pat. When he's at the shows, they love being around him. And I think the scene that's always iconic for me, Pat, which may be goofy for you, is when John's sitting and he's looking out the window and all the little toys are up there, like the robots and all the Transformers and stuff. And that's when I kind of just sat there and I was like, okay, that's an influence of Pat. I know that you've got a lot of ideas, and I know that I'm super excited for whatever you decide to do that is your own creation, you know, because you're already penciling and inking all of your own work right now. We know that, and the fact that, you know, you've got a ton of ideas. So like we've said before, we already are putting you in the Hall of Fame now. This is your consecutive show, your third consecutive show.
I'm in the 3-time club.
You're in the 3-time, right? And
Three-peat.
so, I mean,
Three-peat.
you are, yeah, I mean, you're
Triple
the Michael Jordan of Conline. I mean, that's the easiest way to put it.
You're Phil Jackson and you're Michael Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. So we would love to have you back again. We always do. We'll always have that open, extended invitation for you. Once again, for those that want to jump onto, I keep hitting it there, but it's a little easier when these guys are talking and telling stories that we kind of help them and let you know. You can go to Pat's Big Cartel story. He's got his Pat marks. They're $100 each. I'm telling you, all three of us on the top of the screen or wherever you are that are not named Pat, you know, we buy remarks, we buy sketches, we buy all of these things for the time and effort that's put in there for the $100. Trust me, you're getting something remarkable.
I've refrained from going to buy anything while Pat is on the air. Once he's off the air, I'm going to the site and I'm going to buy them.
Yes.
But you got to give the fans a chance. It's not fair
absolutely.
if, you know, people that work for Conline go and buy everything.
No, just George Costanza them out of the way and just say, first come, first served. Get in there.
And then you're only going to have a few commissions open, as you said, because you're kind of wrapping up towards other things you've got going on. So if you wanted to get one of those, he's already gone through some of the blanks. He's got a Rocket Raccoon. He's got Spider-Man. He's got X-Men. He's got a lot of different Marvel. He's even got Young Justice. He's got a couple of those, a Shazam. So he's got kind of a nice little spectrum of stuff that you can get sketches on, and all of his prices are on the Big Cartel site also.
The single busts are still available at $350. Yes.
Yes.
Add to cart.
I know it's going to be cable. You want cable, right?
I mean,
By the way, one
Red
thing, just so everybody knows too, I just want to make sure that for people that I know we're wrapping up, we've only got a couple minutes left, so this will be my last thing, and I'll let Corey and Greg take over. But I also wanted to send a special thank you to Pat. Pat, when he came onto our first show, decided he was going to do sketch cards, and he did a couple of them, and people loved them. And he decided that he was going to do some for a bunch of us behind the scenes. And I was able to get those out to people. Now, Corey and Greg don't have theirs yet because I'm supposed to ship them things. But they don't. They're okay with it. They understood it was coming out. But I got a red X from Teen Titans Go. And I know he sent some out to some other ones. So that's stuff that you don't really ever hear about with Pat. But he wanted to make sure that everybody got something. Corey's got a cable, which, you know, I might hold out another year on sending that to him. But I just wanted to say thank you publicly for that and for doing that for all of us for behind the scenes. It wasn't expected, but it sure was really nice for you to do that.
Well, you guys were working really hard, and it's the least I could do. So you guys put on a great show. And appreciate you guys having me. And I've been enjoying watching the other artists and creators on here, too. Looking forward to more.
And your buddy is on his way up to my house right now.
Is he?
Yeah, and Michelle.
Well, look at that. No wonder he wasn't returning my calls. All right. Well, I will definitely be tuning in for that. So
yes,
give them my
that'll be tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, Doug Mankey will be here. So we're excited. Corey, are you seriously buying something right now, Corey?
Yeah.
Well, you thought I was kidding?
He got the go ahead, so he's doing it.
I love it. Greg, anything else you want to add?
So you were holding up Superman 45. Just real quick, was that more of your script on that one?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
On Superman 45, was that more of your script for that issue?
Yeah. Well, you know, people are always kind of wondering how we wrote these things. You know, people talk together about the storyline, and then we'd go our separate ways and write our own scripts. So basically, if I drew it, I probably wrote the script. You know, we would talk about it, and we'd come together at the end and, you know, say, like, maybe I had an idea for some of the dialogue changes or whatever. Issue 45, yeah, I actually wrote that in the car. My wife, we were driving to Kansas City Convention, Planet Comic-Con, and my wife was driving, and I wrote the whole script to drive to Planet Comic-Con And there's a lot of me in that issue and my kids. Some of the things I specifically just ripped off from my own life, like the scene where Lois is mopping the floor and she's wiping away the little footprints.
Yeah,
that was we had moved recently, and I came home and my wife, the house that we had our little kids in, and she was mopping the floor, and I was watching these little like tiny little baby footprints just go like away, and I was just like crying. I was like, oh, this is horrible. I'm gonna put that in Superman. And so yeah, it was an issue. That whole arc, I think, the Bizarro story was an idea that I'd wanted to do. So I'd written that mostly myself. It's weird. I don't want to leave Pete out of it because obviously we were partners. But there was work to do, and we would go our separate ways. And he would write the physical script for like the Dinosaur Island, while I was writing this physical script for like the first Super Sons appearance. And then we would come together and say, hey, well, why don't you tweak this, and I'll tweak this, and yeah, that's cool. And then then DC put both our names on it. So I don't know. It might have been. It was a weird way to work, but it was really fun to do that. So yeah, I don't know, a long answer to your question.
Yeah. Now the Flash being used as a moving service is probably one of the coolest things I've seen in comics. Like that is ideal right there for moving.
Oh, thank you very much. That was actually, now here's another behind the scenes trick. That was the idea that when I was writing it, I was talking to my wife about what we wish we could do. And we always had our friends come and help us when we moved. And I thought that was so cool to have your friends, come and help lighten the load. So who would come and who'd be the best person to come? We're like, oh, Flash, yeah. Now I think actually I'm looking at this issue right now. Now here's a little known secret. Because deadlines are so tight, I was writing and drawing, so arguably I was doing like 2 jobs at once. You might notice that some of my drawings here look a little manky-ish, and that might have been because, I have a really good friend who came over, and we jammed on some pages together to get them up. This issue, and I was also drawing Action Comics 1000 at the same time, so they were both due at the same time. So I was penciling and inking 2 comics at the same time, and Doug came over and helped out on a couple of pages, and, behind the scenes. So it was like the circle of the Martian Manhunter, Superman.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things. I look at that and I just see like my friends helping me out and us making something cool together and being able to do a cool comic book together. So.
Well, Pat, we really appreciate it, man. Hour goes by super fast a lot of times.
Well, I guess we got to start. Unfortunately, we do have to jump over, start prepping for Mr. John Romita Jr.
Cool.
Who's next. And yeah, man, I really appreciate you coming on. It's always a blast to have you on, and we look forward to it next time.
Oh yeah,
can't wait to have you back.
We'll have the Hall of Fame trophy ready next time.
All right. Well, anytime, and you guys have a great rest of the show, and I hope that you really have a good time and appreciate.
Check out that purchase I just made, and
okay, you guys.
I'm giving it.
All right,
Turtles, Pat.
No, you're
Turtles.
we'll talk.
all right,
Okay.
All right,
all right, guys. All right, now it is time for us to fulfill the sponsor obligations. We will get on, and we will. You want to stay on the screen, JJ? You want to pantomime as we read?
Yes.
Okay,
No,
there we go.
I can just sit here and smile or give thumbs up.
All right, guys, here we go.
The Short Box Podcast. The Short Box is a podcast based out of Jacksonville, Florida, going since 2012. Weekly, they have opinionated discussions centered around comics and pop culture. If you've asked yourself, should I listen to a new podcast? Make it the Short Box.
JJ, you want to do this one?
Which one is it?
Self-promotion?
Oh yeah. Hey everybody. It's JJ from JJ's Comics and Art. Tomorrow we're going to be launching our new website, so you can go to jjscomicart.com right now. You can subscribe. Why are we launching it tomorrow? Because part of Conline is that we will have a bunch of new items from Doug Mankey available with COAs, signed stuff. Doug is on his way to my house right now, so we can get to work this evening finishing some stuff up. So go on over there, check it out, jjscomicart.com. comic art, or you can go to JJ's Comics. They all link to the same thing. That's my little bit. Next.
You know, when I was reading, he told me to keep it short and simple.
Scott's Collectibles reps some of the top creators in the business today, and they were kind enough to lend a few of those clients to us. Head over to scottscollectibles.co.uk to check out the latest offerings.
MajorPain.com just launched and is adding new comics every day. Like them on Facebook and join their insider group, or feel free to just give them a call and they'll help you find the comics and comic art you're looking for.
Alpha Omega Certification is the official C2C facilitator for Conline. If you get one of those pat marks or anything else, they can reach out to you and get that graded. Check out Alpha Omega Certification for an amazing list of signature submissions.
www.outrightgeekery.com well, they have been the exclusive news site for Comic Online. Head over there to see the latest in comic-related news.
The Comic Book Shopping Network is a hub where retailers come together to host live sales every single day. CBSN is the home for some of the best comic deals and people on Facebook.
www.oasiscomics.com, your official home for Jay Lee and David Barron exclusive covers. Now available are the Power Rangers exclusive color sets.
And get your Archerm Lady Death cover from CoffinComicShop.com. It's available through the weekend.
And if you'd like to be a sponsor on our next show, you just heard a list of a ton of people. Make sure that you contact Comic Conline to see about the opportunities to be a sponsor. These guys are to the point where I hope by tomorrow night that they can read off every one of those sponsorships without even looking at a script, because I'm pretty sure they can. That's how much they've advertised. Thank you guys, honestly, for advertising for all of those people, for myself. It's amazing how much you guys are putting in that effort to make sure that all of those people are recognized. So thank you very much.
Thank you for coming on, JJ.
All right, guys. We will see you in about 15 minutes with John Romita Jr. And actually, I believe Rich Capobianco is going to be hosting that interview, so that should be fun. New Yorkers cutting it up.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I need 5 hours for that one.
All right, guys.